So another thing that can sometimes be going on when people in a work role find it difficult, maybe not just work role, it could be family members too, couldn't it? Find it difficult being with somebody with profound multiple learning disabilities, is they don't feel confident enough to be silly, I would say. I always find spending time with people with profound disabilities to be like fun and playful. I quite often end up making silly noises or in odd positions. Compromising, no, not compromising, but you know what I mean. You can't be afraid of not looking your best, or you can't be thinking, oh, what will somebody think of me if I make the sound that they've just made, type of thing. And I think that in some ways being autistic has given me a head start on that one, because I've not always been aware that I am looking odd to other people, or I haven't thought that first. I've done the thing first, and then I've thought, oh, right, maybe this is not a socially acceptable thing to do, which happens to me quite a lot in ordinary life. Not that, you know what I mean, that happens to me with my friends, or at a party. I'll think, oh, I've just said that. Was that the thing I was supposed to say? And my first response is the genuine one, and then I think about whether it was the socially appropriate one afterwards. But sometimes when people are new to a role and they're kind of dropped into it, when you first start a job, that's when you're most aware of what other people are thinking of you. Am I doing this right? Do they think I'm up to this, up to the job? Can I do this? And so anybody starting in a role carries that anxiety. And if you look at research around the demographics of people who tend to be employed in care roles, you'll find that they are also people who tend to have low self-esteem, who tend to have confidence issues themselves. And so telling them they're not doing it right is unlikely to be a way of getting them to do it better. If you can empower people to feel that they are valid in their own skin, that they are approved of, that they are liked, then you free them up a little bit to be silly, to dance when the music comes on, to sing along to the song that you're singing. I went to visit my friend the other week, and she has profound and multiple learning disabilities, my friend Chloe. I was thinking about her when I was writing the other video, because I really view, not writing the other video, talking the other video. You can tell that these have not been written, otherwise they would make more sense. But I really view time with Chloe as time out of the busyness of life. Is a moment of, let's just be in this moment and play in this moment together. And then I quite often visit her. I end up visiting her on a Sunday morning fairly often, and I'm supposed to be at my parents' for lunch at a particular time, and so I'll take the children, and we won't get there on time because it's herding children, or shops have to be gone to, or whatever. Just because of life, you get there later than you'd planned to get there, and you think, well, we'll just spend half an hour, we'll just go in, we'll just pop in and say hi, we'll just take half, and you look at the time and it's an hour has gone, because you drop out of the time that you were in. But I was there the other week, and we were singing, we'd rewritten Row, Row, Row Your Boat to a different, one song to the tune of another type of thing, and we were singing it, and I saw somebody cross the corridor, like down the way from us, through the door was open, and kind of look up, and they obviously looked up because strange noises are emanating from the visitors' room, and you think, oh, I hadn't considered when I started singing that this is an overheard thing. I don't mind that this is an overheard thing, and I'm sure the person who looked up and went, Oh, right, yeah, they're doing that. That's great. I don't, maybe they, they could, I don't know what they would have thought. But my first thought in those situations isn't what will people think of this. Um, it is when it is in some situations. It's not, that's not a wholesale one. But that vulnerability, if you want somebody to care and connect with somebody else, you have to give them that. You have to care and connect with them. So the new member of staff who's not getting it in that sync up with the people with profound disability doesn't need to be told, oh, you need to sing more, or you need to act more playful, or you're being too careful about looking nice, act more foolish. You need to give them the stuff that they need in order to be able to. It's like putting petrol in a car, isn't it? Just telling the car, oh, you need to drive, like, you need to go further. It doesn't work. You have to put the stuff in that enables that process. And so it's figuring out how you put that stuff in. And if it's not a work environment, if it's you, and you want to be able to connect, then it's all those difficult conversations in your own head, and the bravery to act in the moment and be silly and be playful when you are worried. And it is something that you can kind of fake it till you make it type of thing, because once you've done it a bit, you realize it's not so scary. Try it a few times and it's not too bad. So maybe there's a way of encouraging that person where you go, give it a go, be all right, or you help them. I had lovely advice from, I remember Jill Goodwin, who is now Dr. Jill Goodwin, saying if you give people a little bit of dressing up to do, that quite often helps. So she'd give somebody a hat to wear or a bow tie to wear, and once they're a little bit in the character of whatever you've dressed them up as, that frees them up to be more playful and to act in different ways. And so yeah, that was my next mumbling on the topic. Is it can be a lack of confidence, and it can be a worry about acting in ways that are other from the norm for people, and that worry is countered by reassurance and small steps and support, not by you need to do this, car you must drive, that type of thing.